All right. Good morning and welcome to this class. I'm very much excited that we are making progress in all our classes as it concern the forthcoming exam. We've taken our time to discuss very important aspects of English that will be of immense concern to us. Areas I know that in every year in JAM examination, examiners always bring out questions from those aspects. Right? So we discussed the noun word classes in our previous classes. Okay, but on Monday we talked about I give you lesson 1, lesson 2, and lesson 3. The lesson 3 treated on Monday is the advanced prepositional rules. Okay, rules of preposition. Right? Rules of rules of concord. That was what we discussed last time. Okay, but today, as I said, we'll be talking about prepositions. All right, prepositions in English and the usage. Prepositions in English and the usage. How to use prepositions in English. All right, and I need you to note that prepositions is a very key ingredient in English grammar. All right, for you to be able to speak and use the standard British English as it should be used, you must have a workable understanding of what a preposition is. I'm not saying that your head is a dictionary. You're meant to carry, your head is a dictionary that contains everything. But in our daily activities, in everyday conversation, in everyday interaction, as you listen to people who speak in English, I mean standard English, don't forget, as I lecture you based on 3 usage of English. Number 1 is the American English. Number 2, British English. Number 3, Nigerian English. And I said I can only teach American English, Nigerian English, but I will use British English. British English expression is what you need to pass your examination. Expression is a standard English expression required of you to use. Is the official English expression required of you to write in any exam. Okay, so everything we are saying in this class is predicated on the British standard English usage. You get that? So we'll be talking about prepositions. Preposition, when it comes to the use of prepositions, okay, students find it uncomfortable students find it uncomfortable to choose an answer or to select an option that carries the standard British English expression. The reason is that they don't see it as being correct, all right? It's rather the option that has the Nigerian kind of English expression that they see as correct. The reason is that they are familiar with the Nigerian usage of the Nigerian English the use of Nigerian English expressions and words that come in between or words that come in those expressions. What is a preposition? It's simply defined as a word that connects a noun, number 1. 2, a noun phrase or a pronoun to another word, especially to a verb, another noun, or adjective. Take note, because you're going to see all of these elements in the options you'll be given. A preposition from the word pre, all right, before position. So we say preposition, meaning before position, is a word that connects a noun phrase, or connects a pronoun to another word, especially to a verb, another noun, or an adjective. All right. So you have a lot of examples of preposition. Then so many dictionaries, of course, define a preposition, like the Oxford Learners Dictionary says that a preposition is a word or group of words such as in, from, to, out, of, and on behalf, used before a noun or pronoun to show place, position, time, or method. We are going to learn all of that in this class. As I always say during our classes, after each of these classes, sit down, take this material, digest them, go through each of the examples and explanations, and then you will understand better. I believe so. I believe so. Okay, I believe so, that you will understand better. Uses of prepositions. Prepositions are seen, all right, to show some key characteristics and perform some vital functions when used in sentences. You know, I said that prepositions are seen to show some key characteristics and perform some vital functions when used in sentences. Okay, that's what they do. As little, there is this topic I normally take in English. I title it Little Foxes That Can Lead to Failure in English. Very little foxes. When you look at the words that make up a preposition, you find out that sometimes they are just 2-letter words, 3-letter words at most. It could be a phrasal verb, all right? You know that a phrasal verb is a combination of a preposition and a verb, all right? So those little tiny words, I call them foxes, as little as they are, as simple as AT, look, as simple as IN, look, as simple as ON, look, as simple as TO, look. When you misapply them in a sentence, your sentence will be wrong. That's grammar. This is what forms the core grammar we use when we speak, all right? So as little as those words are, you know, as simple as by is, by, when you misapply, when you misinsert by in a sentence, your sentence could be wrong. That's the reason I told you that prepositions can make or mar your expression. Yes, it does. So let us look at the various uses of prepositions in English. One, they are used to show the direction of something. So we have prepositions that shows you the direction of something, all right? They can refer to the time of something happening. That's another point, okay? They can refer to the time of something happening. One, we say they can be used to show direction. They can refer to the time of something happening. So we have direction, we have time. They can be used to denote the position or location of an object in the sentence, all right? Prepositions can be used to denote the position or location of an object in the sentence. The next point, they are also used to represent spatial relationships, all right? What do we mean by spatial relationship? That is space, time, period. Those are space, locations, all right? Physical location, or non-physical, metaphysical locations. Somebody is singing over there. Can you mute can you mute yourself, please? Mute your speaker. Thank you. All right. So I've mentioned that number one, prepositions are used to show direction. Number two, they are used to show time. Number three, they are used to denote position or location of an object in a sentence. Number four, they are used to represent spatial relationships. And I've talked about what spatial relationship means. It means the period, the time, the space where something is located, or the relationship that is being shared by objects, by entities. It could be an inanimate object you're referring to, all right, in a sentence. So this is a very important topic we must not take lightly. We have to be serious with this and look at the examples and work with all that we've got. All right? Prepositional phrases in particular can be used to do all of these when used in sentences. All right? So take note of that. Let's move on. Types of prepositions. Based on the different uses and functions of prepositions, they can be divided into four main types. All right. Number one, prepositions of time. As I stated earlier, prepositions of time is used to show when something is happening. Look at examples. We will be meeting on Friday. All right. We'll be meeting on Friday. Look at on is Bowden. Look at the on. We'll be meeting on Friday. Look at it. That's when something is indicative, is showing when something is happening. The supermarket will be closed from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. Now, please pay attention. You see, I wrote 9 p.m. and 9 a.m. I did not say 9 p.m. in the evening or 9 a.m. in the morning. That's a wrong English expression. Be careful of this. You have 9 p.m. and that is it. You have 9 a.m. and that is it. By the time you say 9 p.m. in the evening, it becomes what we refer to as plonism or tautology in English, right? And when you say 9 a.m. in the morning, it becomes plonism or tautology in English. So be careful of these usages. So I said 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. That is appropriate grammatical use of preposition there. You can see from and to, right? Can you come after some time? Look at after, it's a preposition. We have been asked to work from home until the end of May. Look at until is another preposition that indicates time. The whole country was asked to stay home during the pandemic to ensure safety and well-being. All right, during is another preposition indicating time. So take note of that. Okay. Now we have prepositions of place. Prepositions of place indicate the place or position of something. It indicates the place or position of something. Don't be surprised that a preposition that indicates time can also indicate a place, okay, and position. But what will make it different is a sentence, is the antecedent, is a previous, is a preceding sentence. All right? That's what is going to make it different from when it's indicating position and when it's indicating place and when it's indicating time. These examples will explain that. Look at this. I have kept the book I borrowed from you on the table. You see, I have kept the book I borrowed from you on the table. You know, you borrow something and the person you're borrowing from lends you something. Okay, so it would be wrong of you to use English and you tell somebody, borrow me your book. You are not the book. By saying, borrow me your book, you are putting yourself in the position of the book, whereas you are not the book. It should be, lend me your book. Okay, and then you now report to someone else to say, I borrowed the book. Is it? I borrowed the book. The person who gave the book to you will now say, I lent her the book. I lent him the book. You see? So take note. Now, I have kept the book I borrowed on the table. Remember, the preposition that indicates time said, we are having the meeting on Friday. We shall be meeting on Friday. So you can see the preposition of time is also functioning in the preposition of place. But the sentence format, the sentence constructions are always different. That's what I need you to take note of. All right, look at another example. Henry hid behind the door. The dog jumped over the fence. Can you place the red roses in between the white daisies? He was waiting in front of the EB office. Now look at in front of, which is a phrase, a prepositional phrase. Look at it, in front of, in front of. All right, so take note of that. Now, prepositions of direction is used to denote the direction in which something travels or moves, as the name implies, as the term implies, the direction in which something moves, all right, or goes or travels. The girl ran toward her father the moment she saw him. So look at toward is a preposition, okay? Toward there is a preposition. So you see that the girl ran toward her father the moment she saw him. All right. Now look at Jerry jumped into the river to help his sister. Vina passed the book to Priva. Look at it too. All right. When will Sylvia be returning from London? Can you see? Nina lives across the street. Position, indicating position. All right, indicating position. As simple as prepositions are, wrong application, wrong insertion in sentences will spoil your sentence. It's going to make it wrong. But sometimes you won't even know, because these things are done in a very slimy or unobservable way. You may not even note that by inserting this preposition in this sentence, it has spoiled your sentence. It makes it wrong. The option you might pick is incorrect. All right. So some time ago, there is this popular expression that says, BC came to the meeting on time, and BC came to the meeting in time. Students were asked, what is the right preposition to be used? Is it BC came to the meeting in time that is correct, or BC came to the meeting on time that is correct? Both sentences are correct. BC came to the meeting in time is correct. BC came to the meeting on time is equally correct. Now, what should we do in such instances? All right, very simple. Take a look at this. If we fixed a meeting and we say that this class is supposed to start at 11:30, 10:30 a.m. And I started the class at 10:15 a.m. It means I started the class in time, before the time that was allotted for it. So I started the class in time. Now, if I started the class at exactly 10:30 a.m., it means I started the class on time. So take note, in time means before the actual period, before the actual time slated for the activity, for the event. On time means the exact time, the exact period slated for the activity, for the event to kick off. Do you understand this? So I need you, so that when you see such expressions, you'll not be saying, oh, I don't know the right answer to choose. Just look at it. And the two expressions can never be used, all right, cannot be used in the same position, at the same time. Okay? You hear expressions such as I'm sitting on a chair or I'm sitting in a chair. Some people will say I'm in a car. Others will say I'm on a car. Do we enter and sit in a car, or we enter and sit on a car? All right. So it depends on the preceding expression. What meaning are you trying to bring out from that expression? That will determine the preposition that is suitable to apply. Is that okay? Now, prepositions of location employed to denote the location of a particular object. For example, Kenny will be staying at his cousin's place for the weekend. Look at is what is used. Kenny will be staying at his cousin's place. Make sure you keep all the toys back in its place after, right? I lay on the floor for a really long time. I lay on the floor for a really long time. So I will be correct to say I'm at your place. I cannot say I'm in your place. I'm in your house. I'm at your place. Is showing location, all right, where I am at the moment. Okay. Prepositions of spatial relationship is used to denote an object's movement away from the source and towards another source, right? Okay. Navia sat leaning against the wall, right? Against the wall. That's the preposition. Against that word there, right? The circus was stationed opposite the children's park. Okay, so you can see that there. We spent the evening walking around the lake. We spent the evening walking around the lake. Now, prepositional phrase is a combination of a preposition and a noun. I've explained that before. Okay, a combination of a preposition and a noun. The object it is affecting, for example, all right. See to it that you reach the venue on time. You can see on time. The medicines you ask for are out of stock. All right. Out of stock is a prepositional phrase, right? We don't, okay, why don't we try taking classes outside for a change? For a change is a prepositional phrase right there, okay? Examples of prepositions used in sentences. All the sentences I've been making, all the examples I've been giving. Let us look at these examples. It says, to know how exactly prepositions can be used in sentences, check out the following sentences. All right. I'll be going to church in the evening. You can say preposition, two prepositions in one sentence is allowed as far as you place them in the right position. I will be going to church in the evening. I can't say I'll be going to church on the evening. All right. So you can see in and to. The next one, she placed the plates on the dining table. She placed the plates on the dining table. All right. The next one, Basco find the cat hiding under the bed. Under the bed. From what I explained so far, you will be able to tell, oh, this is a preposition that indicates time. This is a preposition that indicates place. This is a preposition that indicates location. This is a preposition that indicates relationship, special relationship. This is a prepositional phrase, all right, acting as preposition on its own, okay? Will you be with Remy or Mazika? Will you be with, right? I love sitting on the beach at night. See, I love sitting on the beach at night. Rachel met Phoebe by the lake. By the lake. Finn stood opposite Lisa. Okay? Finn stood opposite Lisa. So take note of that. The grocery store is right in front of the bus stop. The grocery store is right in front of the bus stop. These expressions, all right, I'm giving you as examples are standard British English expressions. My brother climbed onto the roof. Okay. Now look, hear this. If I dropped a paper on a table, all right, and the wind blows and the paper falls, you know, sometimes you hear students say the paper fell from the table. The paper fell from the table, rather than saying the paper fell off the table. Okay, it's confusing. But the right option, the right application is there. The paper fell off the table, not the paper fell from the table. You may not have heard that before. You have always said the paper fell from the table. The paper fell off the table. All right. Somebody can fall. A human being can fall from the treetop. She fell or he fell from the treetop. All right. So my brother climbed onto the roof. In Nigeria, we'll tell you my brother climbed to the roof. My brother climbed to the roof. Your brother climbed onto the roof. Okay. It feels great to sit beneath the tree and read. Somebody is talking at the background. Can you mute your speaker so that you hear me? Okay. Now look at these questions. Let's treat these questions, right? Number one, it says from the options A to D, choose the option. Can you mute your speakers? Thank you. From the options A to D, choose the option that correctly fits into the spaces provided. Number one question says, the orderly was charged dash. The orderly was charged dash for mother, to mother, as mother, with mother. This question is a typical question that gives students problem, right? The orderly was charged with mother, not for mother, right? The orderly was charged willing. The orderly was charged for killing. All right. When this fixed expression, in English, we refer to this as fixed expression because it's coming from law, it's coming from the domain of legal discourse, legal matters. All right. Number two, the enemies expected us to take dash the gauntlet, right? The enemy expected us to take on the gauntlet, to take out the gauntlet, to take up the gauntlet, to take off the gauntlet. Of course, to take up the gauntlet. You know what taking up the gauntlet is? To take up arms, all right? To start fighting, to retaliate, all right? For a reprisal attack, and so on, okay? Look at the next option, the next question. Number three, a good part of our salaries will now be spent dash food. A good part of our salaries will now be spent on food, will now be spent into food, will now be spent for food, will now be spent by food. All right. So ensure you insert the right preposition. It's going to be a good part of our salaries will now be spent on food. We spend money on food, right? Number four, the steward fell dash favor. They, all right? They, this should be THE, all right? The steward fell dash favor with his master. The steward fell off favor with his master. The steward fell in with favor with his master. The steward fell out of favor with his master. The steward fell out of favor with his master. All right. So when you look at this, when you look at option C and D, the answer is between C and D. All right. So fell out of favor, not this, not C, but rather fell out of favor. Okay. There's a difference between OFF and OF. Two of them out of OFF and out of OF are all prepositional phrases, but their meanings differ. Their meanings are different. So take note of that. So you should be out of favor. All right. The NLC threatened that workers will go dash strike. Right. The NLC threatened that workers will go to strike, for strike, on strike, in strike. Of course, we go on strike is the answer. All right. Number 6, Laraba goes to Lagos dash train. Laraba goes to Lagos dash goes to Lagos with train. Laraba goes to Lagos on train. Laraba goes to Lagos in train. All right. In train. Okay. By train, with train, on train, in train. What is the condition of the sentence? That is what we give you the idea of the preposition that suit well with expressions like this. Look at the container we are referring to, train. Okay, how large it is. All right, how big it is. Those are the things grammarians consider before inserting a particular preposition to denote a correct answer expression. Lara goes to Lagos by train every day. All right. Now, when the train is stationed in the is part or is stationed in the train station, when the train is stationary, all right, we can say Lara goes to Lagos on train, or rather in train, all right, because it's right there. It has not moved. It's not on motion. But the movement is on motion, all right? The right preposition to apply will be on, all right? I'm on the train to Lagos. I'm on the train to Lagos is a correct English expression. I'm in the train to Lagos, meaning that the train has not moved, all right? I go to Lagos by train. You see, I go to Lagos by train. So the construction is what matters. Okay? The construction of your sentences is what matters, is what determines the right preposition you're going to insert. Exactly. So you can hear the way I've used them. I go to Lagos by train. I'm on the train to Lagos. I'm in the train, all right, to Lagos. Okay. Now, I'm on the train to Lagos. I will tell that to somebody when the train is on the move. The train is already going, it's moving. So I will say, I'm on the train. It's the same thing you say when you are on the bus. I'm on the bus to Yaba. I'm on the bus to Ikeja, right? You are on it when it's moving. You are in that bus when the bus is still in the garage. It has not moved. So take note in case you see that in your subsequent exams. The manager was entrusted dash solving the problem. Okay, the manager was entrusted dash solving the problem. The manager was entrusted with solving the problem. The manager was entrusted by solving the problem. The manager was entrusted for solving the problem. The manager was entrusted to solving the problem. The right preposition is with solving the problem. The manager was entrusted with solving the problem. This is what is called fixed expression. Because it's fixed, you can't change it. There is only a particular preposition that will fit in. Okay? So you cannot change it. The orphan was entrusted dash his grandparents. Okay? The orphan was entrusted to his grandparents. All right? So you see the difference between number 7 and number 8. So take note of that. And number 9, he got into trouble in an attempt to conceal the truth. Dash me. He got into from me, not to conceal the truth for me. All right? When you look at A and D, when you insert 4 in that space, it may sound correct, but no, the meaning has been lost. All right? So he got into trouble in an attempt to conceal the truth from me. All right, we made earlier. Okay? Let us keep away the plans we made earlier. May seem correct. Let us keep to the plans we made earlier. Let us keep off the plans we made earlier. Let us keep on the plans we made earlier. Let us keep to the plans we made earlier will be your answer. Is that clear? So we have looked at prepositions today. We have looked at preposition of time, a preposition of location, preposition of space, all right, phrasal verbs that act as prepositional phrases, okay, and all of that. And you can see the way prepositions work. I need you to sit down, take up these, digest them, read them over and again to yourself, and get more examples. They are all in your past question papers. All of these questions are from past question papers. So do all of that so that when we come again, we are going to study the part 2 of prepositions, all right, by Monday, all right, by God's grace, we'll do that. So until I come your way again, keep reading, keep learning, keep digging up the examples to add to what you have been taught in class, okay? Because this exam, don't forget, 300 is the goal, all right? So thank you very much for attending today's class.